Hi guys, welcome to this video. We're going to look at how we're going to create some lookup tables. So in this instance we've got a table called properties and we've got a property type, and as you can see here it's listed as number. Now this is all great, it will allow us to use it for relationships later on, but the numbers mean nothing to us, and at the moment we just have to enter in the number. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the design view and we look at a way we can do it. So if we click on the property type ID and the data type, go down to Lookup Wizard. This Lookup Wizard will allow us to look at a table or get a value from another table or query. So we're just going to select Next on this, and then we're going to choose the table that we've created, which is in this situation table property. So I click Next, and then what we're going to do is we're going to drag over both of those values there, so ID and property type. Click Next. And then here we can choose to ascend the values. We're just going to click Next. As you can see, we've now got the values within that table of detached, semi-detached, etc. And the option at the top says Hide Key Column, which is our primary key. We don't need to see that, so we're just going to select that and then click Next. And then click Finish. Save it. And now we should be able to go to our view, and we should be able to see that when we go down all of our columns, we'll see that there is a value there of a text value. Now we can click the drop down on that and we can see that it's only the values that are available, which is useful for us in this situation. If we click on the design, go to the lookup tab, we can see that the bound column is number 1, which is the one that's hidden, which is our ID, and our column count is 2, so we can see the 2 values inside of our sheet. Here we can see the original table showing all of the values, and then we're going to go to our relationships just to make sure that the links are still there, and you might notice this is an intermediate link. So just to make it primary key, we're going to drag the primary key and the foreign key again, and this time we're going to enforce the referential integrity and make sure it's a one-to-many. Click close, and that will be our database fully relationshiped between the values, but still showing only the text values rather than the numeric values. What we can do is we can just go back to the property table, and then we can expand the plus sign, and we can see that all of the properties that are of a detached house are shown using the plus sign, and we can go through each one here and we can see, yep, that's fine, and then go to the terraced houses just to ensure that the relationships are still working properly. Now we do have an alternative solution to this. As you can see, we have our relationships, our one-to-many relationships already established. We don't need to do anything here. So we just want to make sure that that's fine. So we're going to close that, just save it if we need to. And then we're going to go back to our table where our property information is. Notice I've gone back to how it originally was with our numerical values. And this time what we're going to do is when we go down to the very bottom, you'll see that it is still numerical. We're going to go into a design view. We're going to click on the event, the property type ID, and this time we're going to go straight to the lookup tab. Notice it's text box. Choose the drop down and choose combo box here, and then it will show that it's going to be a table or query, and we want to give it the source. Now we can select the source here, and in our instance we want to click on the PT, the property type, and then if you notice there's a couple of columns underneath that says 1. I'm going to leave those for now, and notice there's no difference really inside of our table. Even if we go down to the very bottom, there's still numbers. However, this time if we click on the drop down, you'll see that there is a numerical value. This is useful, but not that useful because we don't know what that means. So what we want to do is we want to change our property count to 2. That will allow us to see both the columns in the original table. If we click save, now if we scroll down to the very bottom and we click on the drop down, we should be able to see both the ID and the value, and this will allow you to make that selection quite quickly. We're going to go to the design view, just double check there that it's bound to column 1, so the IDs will pull through, and that's good for us.